Izzy here, and I remember a time not long ago when my Sundays were dictated by scripture, my beliefs by dogma, and my spiritual world felt incredibly small. Every prayer was structured, every doubt suppressed. Then something shifted. For me, it was a quiet pull towards my ancestors. For Sarah, it was the undeniable call of intuition, guiding her away from the familiar and into the unknown. We both ended up in places we never expected, trading hymns for hexes and sermons for spirit work. Oh,
that's not the right one.
Sorry. That was my bad.
Welcome to Just Another Statistic, hosted by Sarah and Izzy. This is where we lay bare our deconstruction from Christianity and our vibrant, sometimes challenging transition into witchcraft and personal spirituality. We're here to share the blueprint of our spiritual rebuilding, one honest conversation at a time. Whether you're someone who diligently attended church for decades, or you've always felt a magnetic pull towards something other, this podcast or magical this podcast is for you. We'll explore the hows and whys of our journey, discussing everything from finding new community to understanding ancient practices and navigating family dynamics. Our goal is to connect through our stories, acknowledge and Our goal is to connect through our stories, acknowledge that while our paths are unique, the quest for authentic spirituality is a universal human experience. Join us as we explore the rich tapestry of spirituality beyond the statistics.
Before we begin, we want to share a brief but important note. This is especially important for this episode. To protect the privacy and identities of everyone involved, we will not be using the real names of people or churches in our stories. We also want to acknowledge that every story has at least two sides, and what you're about to hear is simply our story, sharing our experiences from our unique perspective. We've dedicated a lot of time to healing from these experiences and will continue this journey, and we sincerely wish nothing but love and light for all the individuals whose paths have intersected with ours.
Sweet. Alrighty then. All right, friends. This episode will probably be split into two, just so you know. It is the main event, I guess you will say, in our story of leaving the church.
Yeah, it was the final nail in the coffin, for sure.
Yeah.
And it was a big one. So there's a lot to it. So please bear with us as we remember these things and go through them. It's probably going to bring up a lot of anger still in us that we haven't fully worked through. And I think hopefully by saying it out loud that'll help us
process and get it out of our system.
Heal a little more. So I truly believe that saying things out loud removes its power. So I'm excited to finally get this story out. So why don't you set us up, Sarah?
So we're going to start this story. For those of you who have been following along, we had both left Mega Church number 2, and we were on to our next steps. For me, I took a couple months off after leaving Mega Church number 2 before jumping into another church because I didn't want to just get lost in the sauce. So it was the holiday season, so I took like 3 months off.
Yeah.
From going to any congregation.
Yeah.
And then I jumped into, actually I was invited to the Raft.
Yeah.
So I started going there pretty consistently. And this was 2020. Yeah,
Yeah.
2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was going to my parents' church after I left Mega Church number 2 for a while, and then me and my parents had our big fight, and they cut me off. So I, yeah, was kind of floundering after that a little bit.
2020 was a rough year for sure.
2020 was rough, and then it's been rough every year
since. Yeah.
So
so 2020 happened. I started going to the raft. I was dating one guy at one point. You met him.
Didn't like him.
Didn't like him. And I wish you said something. That didn't last. 2021 came around.
That's when we started talking about moving in together.
Yeah.
I think it was like March or something we started talking about it.
Yeah.
Because we moved in April 1st, I think.
I believe that was our move-in date. Something, or like within that first week.
Yeah. So me and Sarah had moved in together. And we kind of like sat down and talked about everything before we had moved in. And I had kind of explained a lot of my beliefs have been changing. This is how I feel like I'm going to progress with my life. Is that okay? And you were like, that sounds good to me. Yeah. I think it just kind of both gave us like a freedom of, for me, knowing that I had somebody who cared about me that I was coming home to, because I'd been living by myself. And for you having the freedom to express yourself without your mother there. So
I loved my mom, but it was
baby steps.
It was stifling. So I needed a little bit of distance. So I think this was a good opportunity for us to take a step back a little.
And I mean, like, we had friends that came with us from Mega Church number 2. I had known everybody for a few years at that point, but Sarah had grown up with most of them. So I want to make that point of like, I was still relatively a new person. Like I had been part of the group for years at that point, but I was still, comparatively to like how long everybody knew each other, I was like the new person still. And there was a young man, the White Knight, who had also moved with everybody from Mega Church number 2, who I would say we were like acquaintances. I don't really feel like I was close to him before this at all. I know you and him had a little more history. I know a lot of people, like, in their minds had partnered you guys up, right?
There was rumors, like there was some like little hints and stuff, like
that you should be dating.
Yeah, it came from the Israel trip.
Oh, okay.
And a couple of people were like, "Oh, he would be a good person for you," and I would eat him alive.
Yeah.
No, he's just a friend. I would eat him alive.
Yeah. Yeah. But then when we moved in together, man, he was just like obsessed.
He was physically, like, where he lived was literally a jump away from where we were. It was 5 minutes from where we were. So he was over all the time.
Yeah, he was unemployed, and like the second either one of us were off of work, he was at the apartment. And I think we both got really frustrated probably after like the first month, because like we all had fun when it was like, oh, it was kind of like party. We went crazy
just a little bit.
Drank way too much. But then like it was like, this is too much. Me and Sarah are both introverted people. Like, we have extroverted tendencies, but for the most part, we're introverts.
Yeah.
And we have the same flavor of introvert, which is, I feel like, why we did so well living together, because it was like we got off work, we left each other alone,
decompress
we
for a
would
while.
make dinner, make sure we ate, and then like once or twice a week we would watch a movie or a TV show together. If one of us was feeling down, we'd go out and get drinks. Like it was easy and chill, and it was really nice.
We really meshed well, making sure things stayed clean, making sure each other stayed hydrated, because we were really bad at taking care of ourselves.
Yeah.
That type of thing.
Yeah. So, yeah. And then I started school too. So I was just back in school as well.
And I made sure she had internet, made sure she had like all of her study materials.
Yeah.
Like what you need. You need snacks? We got snacks.
Yeah. We immediately became family. That was kind of the agreement that we had, was that we are family now. We are going to take care of each other. And I think for whatever reason, the White Knight thought he was part of that too. And we were like, no, like, you're our friend.
Yeah.
We are family.
Yeah.
But it just didn't stop.
Yeah. So like, I would say within the first month, both of us got to the place where the White Knight would be like, well, you guys are ignoring me, even though he saw us like a day or two before. And we're like, we have lives, we have jobs, Izzy's in school, chill. And we're like, this is our home. Our apartment is our home, our safe space. You're a guest here. And you need to respect that this is our safe space, and we need some space from you at this moment.
It was like we were getting off of work and then going home to entertain him, pretty much.
Yeah. Anyway.
I'm tired just thinking about it.
Yeah, so it was like, chill, dude, chill. So we had a pretty like intense conversation. Not real bad intense, but like, these are our boundaries.
Yeah.
Don't cross them, or we're going to take steps.
Yeah.
You are our friend, and we would like to continue this friendship. But if you continue to push us, we're going to take steps to protect our peace. At that time, you were dating somebody.
Yeah. It was very brief. It was my first, just about everything. And it only lasted like 3 months. It was pretty quick. But yeah, he was there, had sex, he was gone. That's pretty much what it was. But I mean, I wouldn't say like, I was pretty devastated for about a week, and then I think I was like, okay, whatever, and moved on. But yeah.
And so in that time, when we moved in together, you started going with me to the raft.
Yeah.
And it seemed pretty decent.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was pretty chill at first.
Yeah. Yeah. So we were still outside because it was COVID. But it was
like the beginning of the summer, so it was nice and warm, and it wasn't bad at all. So, yeah. And then my older brother raises his kids in a way where it's like, his kids will ask him a question, he will be like, this is what I believe, but other people believe something different, and he's kind of really always left belief up to his children. And they were pretty young. They kind of, they're kids, so they'll say what they'll say whatever and not necessarily really mean it. But my nephew had said that he believed in God and wanted to start going to church. So my brother had asked if I would start taking him with us on Sunday morning. So at the time, we would get up to go to church on Sundays. We would go pick up my nephew. We would take him, and then we would, take him home and go home. So my nephew was going to church with us, and I think he was like, I want to say 7 or 8 at the time. He's pretty young. Yeah. So he wasn't like sitting there listening to the sermon. He was with the kids doing, kid stuff. So
and then also around that time, I was grieving the loss of my uncle who passed the prior year in 2020. And I remember you were going through your breakup. I was going through that. And we both were just like, we need some space to decompress ourselves. And the White Knight didn't handle that well.
No.
I remember like, I was very much adamant. I was like, guys, I'm going to take a couple of days back. Like, I'm going to pull back a little bit. Give me like a week. And if I stay disappeared, then come check on me.
Yeah.
But let me have some space. And I remember, because I was at my old store still for work, and I was on, I think I either just got off of work or I was on my lunch break or something. And it went, like, I got a message from him and being like, allow yourself to grieve at this point, and like pushing me to like open up about my grief when I was like, I need space. And that really pissed me off.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And then during that period time, like of us both taking a little bit of a break, I got a phone call from his mom.
Yeah.
The White Knight wasn't.
It was Sunday morning, so we had seen him at church.
That's right.
And then he was all pouty, which he was every other week, going through it. He was a very depressed person, which sucks as somebody who's lived with very extreme depression. Like, it does suck, but he always made it everybody else's responsibility.
Yeah.
Which was the bad thing about it, is he expected people to fix his depression, which nobody can do that for you. And like we had expressed before when we had the conversation before, is like, we're holding space for each other. We're not holding space for you. If we have extra to give you, great, but you should not be expecting it from us. But that went in one ear and out the other. So yeah, Sarah got a phone call from his mom after we'd been home like maybe an hour.
Yeah, or something like that. And she was pretty much on the phone crying to me that he had gone down a spiral and she hasn't seen him like this in a long time, and that she's worried he's going to do something to himself, and that he keeps saying that we're being bad friends because we weren't paying enough attention to him. And I was like, cool, I'll deal with this. And so I ended up texting him and be like, okay, I'll reach out to him. So I ended up texting him and inviting him over to come see a movie. And he really wanted to watch a scary movie, which anybody who knows me, I don't do scary movies. I don't do horror. I don't do jump scares. I don't do it because my brain warps it to the point where I will be having nightmares. It'll be bad.
I left the apartment because I was just so pissed off because I felt like it was such an extreme manipulation.
Which it was.
So I left because I was like, I'm gonna say something really dumb to him because I'm fucking mad.
Yeah.
So I left. Yeah.
Yeah, you went to your sister's.
Yeah, I went to my sister's.
And so we ended up watching The Quiet Place. which some of you are probably like, that's not that scary. It's aliens, dude. It's scary. Too many jump scares. And I told him straight point blank before we watched that movie that if I watched it, I will probably go into a panic attack. Like I'm already in a state of grief, and you're just putting this even more on top of that. So I'm probably gonna have a panic attack. And so we watched the movie. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Mhm.
Like, it wasn't that bad because it was the middle of the day. The sun was up, all
Yeah.
the lights were on. And then I was like, okay, it's time for you to go now. And he's like, what, really? And I was like, yeah, I'm in the middle of a panic attack now.
Yeah.
And so he left and he was like, oh, I didn't realize that you were going to have that kind of reaction. I'm like, I told you.
Yeah.
I told you this is what was going to happen. He's like, I thought you were lying.
Yeah.
And I was like, you thought I was lying when I told you point blank, this is how my body's going to react to this. And you said I was going, like, I'm lying. Cool. Thank you for being the smart man in the room telling me how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
So she was pissed. I was pissed to the point that we had to sit down and
we had like cut him off for a few weeks. Like we were just over it. But then Sugar Cube and the Quiet One were getting married. Sarah was in the bridal party, and the White Knight was also in the bridal party, and Sugar Cube had planned for them to walk down the aisle together. And it was like maybe 2 weeks before the wedding. I was like, we need to talk to him about this and deal with this so that we're not taking it into the wedding.
Yeah. Because we did not want this drama anywhere around that wedding, because
there was enough at the
there's
wedding
enough drama going around in that wedding just for Sugar Cube and the Quiet One themselves. Yeah. We didn't want to add on to that.
Yeah. So we had went and got a mediator, which we asked my sister, which I don't know if that was the best option. I felt like that was just kind of it was really the only person who I knew who had dealt with depression the way that the White Knight described his depression. So that's why we had asked her. Which I don't really know if she made it better, but I don't think he or I felt like she was siding with either of us in that conversation. So, I mean, she did her job as a mediator.
Right.
And I remember him saying, like, you told me that you guys would do, if I ever needed anything, you would be there. And I took that seriously. And I remember sitting there and being like, when did I say that to you? But I was just like, whatever. I was like, you can't threaten self-harm and expect to get your way. Like, it's not cool. I grew up around a very manipulative person. I think that's why it made me so mad, because I was like, I already deal with somebody who's like this. I'm not taking it from anybody else. But it seemed okay after that.
Yeah, it seemed like we set our boundaries. It was clear he understood, and we were fine.
Yeah,
we were good. We both got out of our funks.
Yeah,
we had our moments of needing space from everybody.
The wedding ended up being super fun.
Yeah, super fun.
Despite a lot of people.
Despite a lot of people saying stuff, but it was
yeah,
it was great. It was a very fun time. One of the best nights we had when we lived together, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And then we like left and got McDonald's at like midnight. So
yeah,
it was primo. And yeah, that was that was great. It seemed like everything was going smoothly until Father's Day. Until Father's Day.
Yeah, his mood kind of went down again, and then because my parents had cut me off the year before, it was October, it was Halloween, when they cut me off. So it was the end of 2020. We were going in to summer, so it was Father's Day, and it was I'm a daddy's girl. I had grown up being a daddy's girl. That's obviously changed a lot in the last few years, but I was for sure a daddy's girl. So that was my first Father's Day without my dad. Um, and I was going through it, and then I think our childhood dog had just gotten put down too, and I couldn't be there because my parents weren't talking to me. So it was kind of just like emotional, and then like he was in a mood again, and like we could tell, to where like we played D&D on Sundays after church, and he like came, but then just sat there and watched us play. And I remember being like so stressed out. We lived on the third floor. So stressed out. I walked out the door to go pick up pizza with my sister. Fell down the stairs, fell down one flight of stairs. They were metal stairs. I had like this huge bruise across my chest, but I was just like so stressed out and so like on this adrenaline that I don't even think I registered till the next day, and the bruise showed up. But like I messed my hip up doing that. My hip's never been the same. I had a concussion. I remember that. Because I drove to work the next day and I couldn't see.
And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Excuse you?
So, yeah, I was stressed out.
I don't think you guys understand, like, being on the third floor, she almost went over the stairs and could have died that day. Like, her sister was right there.
Our paramedic friend pulled up right after. I wouldn't have died.
He would have
kept me alive if it killed him.
You know what his rules are.
Yeah.
No getting hurt when he's not on the clock. He doesn't do that.
Yeah, but the stress was so much, and I think it was just because something that I'm trying to work on in myself is because in the household I was raised in, I was responsible for everybody's feelings. So when there's somebody around me who has big feelings where they're making it everybody's responsibility, I do feel responsible. And that's something that I'm still working on in myself. It will probably be my forever shadow work. But yeah, I just can't. Whenever somebody gets like that, I feel responsible. And so it was like this weird mental place of like being angry that he was making me responsible for his feelings, but then at the same time also trying to fix it. And I just didn't know how to express that then, because I didn't know that that's what was happening. But yeah.
So that was like a big just moment. I know for you that was super rough.
Yeah. And then he texted me like later and pretty much like gave me permission to be upset about my dad. Kind of very similarly to the way he had texted her about her uncle. Almost like his feelings were the only ones that mattered, and he had to give us permission to feel some sort of way in our own home, by the way. So that was wild.
Yeah. And I think at that point we were just like, we're putting our phones down. We're not talking to him. We need a minute.
Yeah.
And we were fine for that week.
Yeah.
And then the very next week at church, it was again super weird. He was down. He was sitting next to us.
Yeah.
And then as soon as the sermon ended, he gets up and says, "I love you girls," and then walks off.
Yeah. And it was like,
what?
I love you girls. And I was like, me and Sarah looked at each other. And I think I think I did say it out loud. I think I was like, what the fuck is his problem?
Yeah. After he went, and I was like,
I didn't even care that we were in church. I was like, what the fuck is his problem?
I don't even know, dude. I was like, I don't know what's going on. Yeah. So, and I'm pretty sure we had a conversation eventually about that, because we're like, what happened? We were like, you went down doom scroom aisle.
Yeah.
And we're like, what the hell, dude?
Yeah.
What's
And
going
I
on?
think it was because he had like been unemployed for a long time, and he like had a bachelor's degree in business, by the way, which will get you nowhere. And he was like upset that he couldn't get a job even though he had a degree, and he had like gotten a job of like a month before or 2 months before, worked like a week, and then had like this huge depressive episode at work, and they fired him because of it. His words, I don't know if that's true or not. And then he ended up getting another job pretty soon, a few days after, and he was like, "Oh, I'm better now." And I think that's really what it was, is he was frustrated with himself, but he was constantly taking it out on us.
Yeah.
And we were like, "We're not your therapist. We're not your mom. We're not." I wouldn't even say we were his best friends, but it was just like this constant.
Mm-hmm.
Every other day there was something. It was exhausting.
And then during like all of this, like the jobs and everything, he started to express interest in Izzy. And it was like, it wasn't like full on at first. It was like little hints of like, oh, I think we should go out. Oh,
Yeah,
I really like Izzy.
I was talking about liking girls, and he was like, I'm gonna date her to protect her from herself.
Yeah.
Because being gay is bad, guys.
Yeah.
When you're in the church, it's bad.
And somehow he was going to protect her from things like falling down the stairs.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Which I'm not like a big person, but I could have easily beat this man up. So
yes.
Like Sarah said, like she would have, there was no way he could have been in a relationship with her. There's no way he could have been in,
the personality difference would have been such that she would have.
No, and just like the family that I grew up in, I mean, I can't imagine the second that he would have been around my older brothers, they would have chewed him up and spit him out. It just, there was no possibility. There was no attraction there. There was zero from me. I there was nothing there. I don't feel like I ever hinted at anything or said anything. I think the three of us got drunk a few times and said stupid stuff, but I think that more came from you, even still.
I joked. I joked a lot.
Yeah. I think Sarah joked about like making out with him or something. I can't even remember what it was.
I don't remember. It was
and
some
he put on that gold thong that night.
Those hot pants, yeah.
It was insane. But I was like never alone with him to give him like any sense of I was interested. Like we were never alone, and if we were, it was like 15 minutes before Sarah got home.
Or met up with them wherever we were going.
Yeah, or it was like a public place.
Yeah.
So I truly, and I mean for the people who know me, when I want somebody, it is not hard for me to get them, and it's very obvious. All of my ex-boyfriends can attest to that. Of that, like, when I want a person, I am full on about it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't know what delusional hoops he was jumping through to think that I was giving him anything, because I was not giving him anything. Mm-hmm. Other than being a female, which, according to the church, was enough.
Yes. So that ended up bleeding into one night where he got a job or a promotion or something.
Yeah.
And he was super happy about it. Mm-hmm. And he started texting us. Mm-hmm. I was at work. And I was like, guys, I do not get off of work until...
I had just gotten off work when he started texting too.
Yeah. I was like, I don't get off of work until like 6 or something, whatever it was. And I was like, and I smell like coffee. So I need to change at least mm-hmm. before I come over or go out with you guys. And so I think we ended up going to Marble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a date that night. So I said, hey, let's just go here. And we'll hang out for a little bit. And then my date will come and you guys can leave and I will have my date.
Yes. Yeah. So we show up. We have like a beer. Mm-hmm. And we're hanging out. And he's like on cloud 9. He's so excited about this new position that he has. And he's like feeling accomplished and all this stuff. And we're like, cool. And then your date shows up.
Yeah. Yeah. My date shows up. Turns out they know each other. That was the worst. Turns out that they know each other, and they start talking, and I'm like, oh my god, he's not gonna leave.
Yeah.
I think like my date went to go buy beers or something, and he immediately like turns to me, and it's like, hey, he's tried to push drugs on me. He's tried to push alcohol on me. I've seen him like get girls drunk and take them home. And I know like he did stuff with them, like insinuating that this man was going to SA me. Mm-hmm. My date came back. We talked for a little while longer. Me and Sarah went to the bathroom, and Sarah was like, how do you feel? And I was like, he needs to get out of here. Like, you need to get him out of here. Because I knew that he liked me, so I wasn't taking anything he said with a grain of salt, because I was like, I can't trust him because I know he wants to go out with me. So why would I trust him about what he's saying about this other guy? But it definitely like informed my decision a little bit, because I ended up cutting that date short anyway, and then we didn't go out again. But yeah, I was like, Sarah, you need to get him to leave, please.
And I was like, cool, so we got back to the table and like they were talking, and then I was like, hey, White Knight, let's go get some food. Mm-hmm. And so we went, like I gathered all my things, like my purse and stuff. We went and got some food, and I kept him away, and we ate our food, and I was like, hey, let's go back to the apartment.
Yeah.
And we'll watch an episode or something, put on a movie. And that was just my one way. I was like, get him out of that building.
Yeah.
So you could have your date in peace.
Yeah.
And so we ended up going back to the apartment. And it was probably maybe 30 minutes later you show up?
Maybe like an hour.
An hour.
Yeah.
You show up. And like we had a couple of drinks at the bar, and then I think I had like another rum and coke when I got home or something. And he started pushing we should go out. We should go out. We should go out. I'll plan it. We should go out. I think you and I need to go out. And it was like every other sentence.
No, he wasn't taking no for. I think I told him no at least 5 times before I was just like, he won't shut up. And I was like, fine, whatever. If you plan it, I will go out with you. That was my mistake. I acknowledge that 100%. I should have never told him yes. But he wasn't taking no for an answer, and I felt like maybe if we were by ourselves and I could explain to him that I didn't like him, and I wasn't doing it in front of Sarah where I would possibly be hurting his feelings, because he's a fragile person. He's an extremely fragile person. Like, we've established that. So I was like, obviously I just need to have like a serious conversation with him by ourselves where we're not drinking, to get him to understand, like, I don't want to go out with you. That being said, I still feel like I should not have said yes. But hindsight is 2020.
Yeah. You were fed up at that
22,
point.
23. I was dumb. I was dumb. I didn't have good boundaries. I wasn't straightforward. I mean, I was pretty straightforward then, but not to have somebody who couldn't take no for an answer and know how to deal with it. So, yeah.
Yeah. So that was the night where everything kind of went like crazy. So we finally got him to go home. And you explained to me, like, that night, you're like, I'll go out with him and I'll explain to him I don't feel anything for him. Like, we're just friends. That's it. And I was like, cool.
Yeah.
No big deal. No problem.
Yeah. And I think I called my sister and I had told her like the same thing the next day.
Mm-hmm. And then he started pestering about her work schedule.
Yeah.
Which Izzy at the time was a nanny.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't usually get her schedule until
late Sunday nights.
Late Sunday nights. And I don't know how many times late Sunday night was emphasized, but it was like most of Saturday, all through Sunday.
Yeah, because Sunday morning we were in church. He was like sitting on me. I kept like scooting closer to Sarah because he was like on me, and I kept like scooting away, and this man kept scooting closer, and
to the point where she was almost in my lap.
I think I shoved Sarah off her chair because he wouldn't get off of me.
I was like, what is going on? Why are you on me? And I remember after that sermon that day, he's like, oh, do you have your schedule yet? I think we should do it whatever day that was.
Yeah, and I was like, she hasn't sent it to me yet. I think he had a plan for Wednesday night, and I was like, that's probably fine. I can't confirm until I have my schedule. I think we'll end episode 1 there.
Part 1 of that right there.
And we'll come back, but stay tuned for part 2, my friends. Thank you for tuning in to Just Another Statistic. Each episode, we aim to explore the profound shift that occurs when we bravely step away from inherited beliefs and embrace new spiritual awakenings. This path from Christianity to witchcraft and spirituality is one of constant evolution, marked by unique turning points and deeply felt emotions. We believe that every deconstructed, every spiritual discovery is a powerful story waiting to be told. If you have been on a similar path or are just beginning to ask the difficult questions, we invite you to share your personal journey with us. Whether it's a specific moment of realization, a challenge you've overcome, or a newfound sense of peace, your story adds vital depth to this conversation. Send us an email at jastatistic.com or connect with us on social media or Just Another Statistic podcast on TikTok and Instagram. We're curious about what you're struggling with, what you care about, and how our podcast has inspired you.
Your voice matters, and by sharing it, you help build a vibrant community for those who might feel like outliers or just another statistic. Don't forget, follow our podcast to stay with us on this journey. And if this episode brought you value, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. Bye.